All right, boys. So today I wanted to go over some of my initial impressions of the Spiritus Systems Delta bag. They came out with this the end of February or so. I picked it up on their first run, so I've had it for probably about as long as anybody on the open market that wasn't given these bags for T&E. This is just going to be some of my quick thoughts about it. I've ran it through the winter and now the spring. I'm going to be running it through the summer, and I'll probably do a final thoughts and recommendations at, I don't know, probably end of August, September or so. But this bag, according to Spiritus, is designed as a assault medic pack. And what they mean by that is they want it to be small enough and carry enough stuff to be able to fill that role on a team. Small enough that the guy can still be able to get in and out of doorways, hallways, all that stuff. And getting into the bag right off, I think the most unique feature about this bag are these pockets. So this is my airway pocket. It's empty. So I don't have Uncle Sam backing me anymore. So my pocket BVM, my crite kit, my suction, I have some stuff like that that also goes in here. But it goes in my vehicle med bag that I'm most likely to use. This doesn't hold enough for my use case for my vehicle med bag, which I've talked about in a previous video. But my vehicle med bag is mostly for high-speed MVAs with long EMS response times, likelihood of multiple victims being involved in that is just a much larger bag. I would never take that if we were doing something involving, structure work or patrolling, anything like that. It's just way too big and bulky. It's a vehicle bag. This, on the other hand, I would take. So my use case with this bag, before I get into the pockets and all that, what do I use this for? I have standardized every dude on my team to carry their IFAKs that I personally have packed, sealed, and handed out to them. I know exactly what is in those kits, and it is all standardized. I highly recommend you guys do something similar. Standardize them, standardize the method of carry. I can go up to any of my dudes. I know exactly where his med kit is going to be. And for us, it's a fanny pack, what is in there, and what I need to supplement it with. So this, for the most part, is supplementation for me. This is me-specific stuff for the most part. Not that guys that I run with couldn't use stuff out of here, but this is mostly set up for me. We're kind of bringing up a CLS guy, so he would be able to go through this, most of it, minus the meds, with no problems at all. So the bag itself, I really like the bag itself. I think it's a good footprint. It doesn't really rub in the wrong places when you're carrying it for long periods of time. Out in the woods, it's been great. The pockets, the exterior 3 pockets, you got one up here, one in the middle, one down below. One down below is really kind of unique to this bag, and I think that's why I like it. I've had a lot of med bags that are, Velcro lined on the inside, and you can take them apart, reposition stuff as needed. These pockets, these exterior pockets, are really what makes this bag for me. So as you notice, it's unzipped, but the pocket still stays relatively closed. I like that. I don't always have time to close the bag back up. One of the things that they did with it as well are these little suitcase straps. So you don't have to zip the bag back up. If you have stuff out inside, you might not be able to. If it's packaged a certain way like mine is. If you leave shit just laying in there, you won't close it back up. So these suitcase handles are pretty cool. I can just grab it if we're working on a dude and carry it with. With that, they open, and the exterior pockets are pretty big. They do have some Velcro on the inside. You can put any other organizers, whatever you want in there. I've just left them open. So this is my airway one. Before we get too far into the pockets, on the side here, they have some laser cut molly. And I just bought a whole mess of shock cord and shock cord clamps, whatever the hell you call these things, retainers. So I've just kind of done it up how I wanted. I put a soft litter on the side, so we always have a soft litter. On the bottom, I don't know why they didn't. It would have been very easy. I might end up just taking this to a tailor and having them do it aftermarket, but I really would have liked to see a couple of soft litter attachment points here on the bottoms. I ran some shock cord through the grommet holes in the bottom that kind of poke through this lowermost pocket, and I run the litter in there sometimes, or I'll run tubular nylon on this side, soft litter on this side, or vice versa. But it does kind of flop a bit. So there's no real good way to anchor it down without having to take it aftermarket. Adam, if you see this, please, for the love of God, just sew 2 anchor points on the bottom. Please. So, top opens up. This is some of my bleeder stuff up here. So in there, ace wraps, a couple tourniquets, some 5x9s, 8x10s, some compressed gauze, a little bit of a refill. Down here is where I've got some SAM splints rolled up, and that's that SOL bivy I always talk about. It's large, it's chonky, but it does a way better job of functioning as a barrier to hypothermia than the piece of shit Mylar bags that you usually see on those. On the top, I keep a locking carabiner, I can attach it to things, shear retainer, and just for demo purposes, I did put the chem light up here. That's what they intended for. I don't really like having this fucking thing just hanging around, but that's just me. So in the bag itself, see the best way to do this. So I have on this side, these are Haley strategic pouches. I really have grown to like these a lot for med reasons. They're great for all sorts of stuff, but I use them mostly for med. Up here is a full thing of tools to take vital signs. This is a little trick that I picked up. This is just a cheap, shitty watch that I had, I think, when I was in boot camp. Cut the bands off. But on here, if I need to check vitals, Q5 minutes or something, it's already set there. So I have a way to keep track of trending vitals, things like that. Here, keep a glucometer, some Narcan, sterile water for abdominal stuff. And then over here is an extra combat wound pack, combat pill pack. This guy right here, this is my IV. I carry 1 liter, usually of LR. Most of the time we're using that for heat casualties and stuff like that. Got a line set here. We've got a chemi and a saline flush. Over here, it does a pretty good job. These are the configurable med trays from Spiritus. These are like next to fucking impossible to get. I think I missed out on their release like 4 or 5 times in a row. So kind of frustrating, but they work pretty well. Starting from the bottom, I've got some syringes, some needles, prep pads, stuff like that. Over here, I'll keep 2 things of Kelly straight, 2 things of Kelly curved hemostats. I've got an EpiPen. I think I have a secondary. I do. I have another EpiPen over here if I need it. I also have epinephrine up here. But Epi, albuterol, these are the things that I'm most likely to deal with. We're not doing high-speed trauma care out in the woods in our capacity. And then these are just medications that I do carry. Needle set up with like an 18 gauge to draw up, and then a whatever 25 1.5 to inject if you're doing IM, if you're not pushing IV. Here, if we're going to go out and do stuff, I will take the SpO2 out of here, loop it on here, that way it can pull out, stick on my patient's finger, and is retained. I like the layout of the inside. You could fit quite a lot of shit in here for how small the bag actually is. My other gripe is no quick release buckles on the straps. I really like the straps. They're nice and thin, padded well. no quick releases. So I will be taking it to a tailor for at least that. I fucking hate it when they don't have quick releases. I don't know why they didn't do that, but in their infinite wisdom, they decided that that's not a route they wanted to go. So these are kind of flat pockets here. They work really well for burn dressings. I've got some hot hands in this one. Up here are some markers. I think I've got a chopped up VS17 panel in here as well for signaling. And then some TCCC cards. And a random Salon Pause patch because getting older sucks and your fucking back hurts. So that is a pretty quick rundown of how I've set up my Spiritus Delta bag. I really like it so far. It's not a bag for everyone, though. It is a bag that is set up specifically to augment what you already have. Everything in here is pretty much, for the most part, me specific. And when I say me, I mean the medic of your group. So open it all up. You can shake it around. It doesn't come out. Really like the bag so far. I'm going to keep playing around with it in the summer. Summertime, usually I add a little bit more fluids, but I think what this year we're going to try and do is cross-load that onto guys. So the CLS guy will have a CLS bag plus another liter of fluids. We've played around with the idea of having every guy carry a 500 ml bag and a fanny pack, and then we shift the IFAC to a different location. So playing around with some stuff. Cross-loading is a huge deal. It allows you way more capability. There's plenty of stuff I could put in this bag. Again, I'm still playing around with it. So I'm sure all the internet warriors are going to tell me what I missed. But this is generally how I've set up the bag. I really like the product so far. And I fucking wish Adam would just put some soft litter attachments on the bottom. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time.